The chapter is Polynomials for Standard 10. This is the second chapter in your NCERT syllabus. So before we start doing the problems, I'll just give you a gist of the theory in this chapter. So you know you have been doing problems related to polynomials in your lower classes. So what is a polynomial? Fx is equal to an x to the power of n plus a n minus 1 x to the power of n minus 1 and so on, a0, where x is a variable, a1, a2, etc., an are constants. This is called a polynomial in variable x. The degree of the polynomial will be the highest degree in the polynomial, that will be the degree of the polynomial. And linear polynomial, the polynomial degree is 1, it is called a linear polynomial. For example, if here the polynomial px is equal to 2x plus 5, so here the degree of x is 1, so it is a linear polynomial. All these are linear polynomial. In linear polynomial, so the general format of a linear polynomial is fx is equal to ax plus b, where b is the constant. So in a linear polynomial, you will have only one zero, that is one solution, one value of x. So quadratic polynomial, where the degree of the polynomial is 2, is called a quadratic polynomial. So the general format of quadratic polynomial is fx is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, c are real numbers and a should not be equal to 0, because if a becomes 0, then you will get bx plus c, then it becomes a linear polynomial. So ax not equal to 0. Now cubic polynomial, the degree is 3, is called a cubic polynomial. So the general format is ax cube plus bx squared plus cx plus d, where a, b, c, d are real numbers and a not equal to 0. Zero of a polynomial. So you will be, in this full chapter, you will come across the word zero of a polynomial. So 0, a real number k is said to be a 0 of the polynomial px if pk is equal to 0. In other words, the points where the graph cuts the x-axis are the zeros of a polynomial. So here if you see, this is a linear polynomial. So linear polynomial will be always a straight line. So here this line cuts the x-axis at this point. So this point, this will be the x value, will be the 0 of this polynomial. So it is always a straight line. So the characteristics of a linear polynomial are, it is always a straight line. It intersects x-axis at exactly at one point. So it will cut only at one point. So that means it has exactly 1 0. That is the x coordinate of the point where the graph intersects the x-axis. So here the 0 will be minus b by a. How do you find the value? You have learned it in the earlier smaller classes. So you write ax plus b equal to 0. So you get x is equal to minus b by a. So quadratic polynomial, the format is fx is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c, where a not equal to 0. So here in quadratic polynomial, it has a fixed shape and that shape is called a parabola. So it is like this, like a cup. It can be either opening upwards or opening downwards. So this is called a parabola. So the quadratic polynomial always takes this shape. If the coefficient of x squared is positive, the shape opens upwards, and if a is negative, the shape opens downwards. Now coming to zeros. So as we discussed in linear polynomial, where the graph cuts the x-axis, they are the zeros of the polynomial. So they are the x coordinates of the points where the graph intersects x-axis. So a quadratic polynomial can have maximum of 2 zeros. So, it is not exactly 2 zeros, it can have maximum of 2 zeros. That means it can have no zeros, 1 zero or 2 zeros. So, consider, see this figure, this is the polynomial, this is a quadratic polynomial, it is not touching the x axis. It can be upwards or downwards. I have just drawn one figure, that is it. So, here it is not touching the x axis at all. So, it does not have any 0. Here in this figure you see it touches the x axis at exactly at one point. So, it has only 1 0. So, the two zeros are equal. So, it is considered as 1 0, and here it touches the x axis at 2 points. So, it will have 2 zeros. So, that is why we say quadratic polynomial can have maximum of 2 zeros. Now, coming to cubic polynomial. So, it is of degree 3. So, fx is equal to ax cube plus bx squared plus cx plus d, where a is not equal to 0 and a, b, c, d are real numbers. So, the characteristics of a cubic polynomial are, it can take any shape, it does not have any fixed standard shape. See, here it is like this, here. So, it is in each figure it is different shapes. Now, coming to zeros, it can have at most 3 zeros, minimum of 1 0. So, at the most 3 zeros means it can have either 1 0, 2 0 or 3 zeros. So, minimum is 1 0 and maximum is 3 zeros. So, it crosses the x axis. So, minimum 1 0 means, that means it crosses x axis at least once. So, here it is touching x axis at this point, 1 point. So, 1 0, here it is touching at 2 places. So, 2 zeros, and here 1, 2 and 3. So, it is 3 zeros, and here it is only 1. So, it is 1 0. So, we can generalize a polynomial of degree n can have at most n zeros. So, maximum of, if the degree is n, it can have maximum of n zeros. So, in a quadratic we had only maximum of 2 zeros, in a linear we had maximum of 1 0, and in cubic polynomial maximum of 3 zeros. So, hope you understood the concepts of these linear polynomial, quadratic and cubic polynomial along with the graphs. So, please you can expect questions from these in 1 mark questions. So, please understand it thoroughly, go through the video once more and try to understand it thoroughly. Now, the next concept that we are going to go through is the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients of a polynomial. So, we are going to take the quadratic polynomial. So, we know it can have maximum of 2 zeros. So, let us assume the 2 zeros are alpha and beta be the zeros. So, alpha plus beta, sum of the zeros is equal to minus b by a, that is the coefficient of x by coefficient of x squared. You can just understand, learn this, no need of the proof. So, sum of the zeros you got as minus b by a, product of the zeros, that is alpha into beta, will be is equal to c by a, that is the constant term by the coefficient of x squared. So, with an example you will understand much better. Consider this quadratic polynomial, 6x squared minus x minus 2. So, we have to find the zeros of this. To find the zeros, you equate this into equal to 0. So, we will do the factorization of 6x squared minus x minus 2. You will learn that method in standard 8. So, you will get Please go through the method. So you will get x is equal to, now equating it to 0 to find the zeros. So x is equal to minus half and 2 by 3. So these are alpha, and so alpha is minus half and beta is 2 by 3. So let us find the sum of the two zeros. You will get minus half plus 2 by 3, 1 by 6. Alpha beta is minus 1 by 3. Now leave it here. Now take the equation. We know this alpha plus beta is minus b by a. So minus of b is here minus 1, because the format is ax squared plus bx plus c. So you have to be very careful in these type of problems. Minus is already there with for this. Then here it is minus 1 by 6. It is 1 by 6 and alpha beta is c by a. So minus 2 by 6 is minus 1 by 3. Now check it here. Alpha plus beta is 1 by 6. Alpha beta is minus 1 by 3. So we have verified the relation. Now the relationship between the zeros and coefficients of a cubic polynomial. So this is the polynomial, cubic polynomial. Here we will have maximum of 3 zeros. Let it be alpha, beta and gamma. So sum of the zeros will be minus b by a. Then in quadratic we had sum of the zeros and product of the zeros. So here product of the zeros, but taken 2 at a time, and then you have to sum them. So alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha. 2 zeros are taken at a time and then sum of that is equal to c by a, and then product of zeros alpha beta gamma is equal to minus d by a. So if you see, it is the sum is always minus b by a, then here it comes c by a, and then again this will become minus d by a. Now coming to another variety of problems that you will be doing now. Forming a polynomial when zeros are given. So if the here the equation is there, from there you found the zeros. Now the zeros are given, you can find the quadratic polynomial. So let alpha and beta are the zeros which are given. Then the quadratic polynomial fx is equal to k into one constant, k is any constant, into x squared minus alpha plus beta, the sum of the zeros into x plus product of the zeros. So if you simply substitute in this, you will get the required polynomial. For the cubic polynomial, alpha beta gamma are given, then it will be x cube minus, the first is sum of the zeros, x cube minus x squared, then plus. So it is always alternate. So minus plus, then comes, here we did the sum of the products taken 2 at a time. So alpha beta, beta gamma plus gamma alpha into x, then minus alpha beta gamma. So if you substitute in this, you will get the required cubic polynomial. Please learn all the formulas and the and what I have already discussed in this video. I'll meet you all with more problems related to this in my next video. If you find it useful, please subscribe, share it with your friends, and also leave your comments. Bye for now.